So to celebrate the Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
it's not the only one of this year. We had another one earlier this year, but it's the first one of the Intermission Kills calendar.
Oh.
We're going to be talking about a Friday the 13th film, naturally. What's your thing with this film? Or I'll say my thing first.
You know my answer, so I'll let you go for it.
Well,
I look so excited over it, and I'm really, like, compared to what my answer's going to be.
My first time I ever watched this film was early this year, actually. Very first time I watched this. This is my second time I've seen this film.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How have you lived so long? Like, don't get me wrong, I'll get to my point, but how have you lived?
Well, do you know what it was? Because I heard
so many.
I heard it was just kind of like, you know what I mean? You never hear enthusiastic things about this film.
No.
I knew the spoilers, so I did. There was
Yeah.
no surprise with this film. So I thought, you know what? I'll just get to it, and then I'll just watch. So this year I had a big old like Friday the 13th
So
binge.
giving it was your first time watching it this year,
Yeah,
2024, which is mental.
Yeah.
What from a first? Because I've seen it before, so my opinions never really changed from someone who's just watched it for the first time.
I mean, this is my second time.
Well, even
I've seen
second
it.
time, yeah, like
overall, I still fuck with the summer camp setting. You know, like it's just, you know what I mean? It's like
it's became such a classic.
It's
part
got got some sort of coziness to it.
Camp Crystal Lake.
And the cheesy, and there's some cheesy elements in it which I kind of like can have fun with, like some of the dialogue delivery. It's not good, but I can have a bit of fun with it.
No, I can see that. Yeah.
Pacing still fucking, it drags, man. It has some bad pacing, does this film, and also I feel like the kills, which is I mean you'll see throughout
We'll get to that.
Throughout the following Friday 13th that do come in the coming years. A common issue that I do have with this franchise is like, why do they just fucking puss out on the kills?
I don't love it as much as Halloween. I don't have a tattoo of Jason Voorhees, but unlike the last one, Flashback. I've got my boy Mickey. I don't think the camera can see it. I've got my boy Mickey Myers tattooed on my arm there. The first time I watched it, I remember when I was really little. It was that thing where you're like, yeah, that's cool, but I also don't really care. The film, my honest opinion of Friday the 13th, specifically this one, it's dog shit. It's awful. No, from start to finish. We were saying this because you guys might not know this, but before every episode, we sit and watch the entire film start to finish, just as like a little refresher. And I'm not even joking. There was times where we kind of like would leave the film and just talk for like 20, 30 minutes at a time. We'd come back and we've missed fuck all.
By come back, we were still sat in the room with the film playing. We didn't just exit my room.
TV's here, chairs there. We've not missed anything. Nothing's happened. It's slow. It's boring. It's cheesy, but not in the way that I love. Halloween and Scream is cheesy in a way that works. Friday the 13th is cheesy in a way that you just want to turn it off.
We can do a bit of semi-comparison with Halloween, because I think there is some validation to compare them. When we talked Halloween, we said even like Carpenter didn't exactly, like he took a lot.
Yeah, it's not 100% original, but
I think, I don't even necessarily have issues with the stuff it steals from it. Again, like, sure, yeah, do the POV shots. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, whatever, do them. But also, like, at that point, it is kind of like a thing where it's like, are you doing it to be effective, or are you just doing it because, I mean, no, I know why they're doing it, because they're trying to hide the killer. That's the whole thing with this film.
They're trying to hide the killer.
They're trying to hide who it is.
They also try and do a thing that a lot of horror films fail to do, and it's mislead who the killer is.
What was his name? Ralph,
my boy Ralph.
You're old, dude.
Ralph does nothing wrong this entire film, but they try and pin it as if he's like the killer from the start, and it isn't. And do we spoil it? Are spoilers welcome?
We're spoilers.
It's Jason's mum.
Yeah, it's Pam.
Yeah, the entire thing you're like, oh, it's gonna be this creepy person, and it's just some little middle-aged woman.
In Halloween, we said that like there's no like the characters. There's enough development. There's no deep dive into any of these characters. But they do enough to where we can at least give a shit about them.
Yeah, like Jamie Lee Curtis, you don't know a full backstory about her, but there's enough there for you to be like, oh, I want to know what she does next.
And even the acting, we even comment about the fact how like it's Annie who's the Lindsay.
Yeah,
that performance is so integral to the enjoyment of that film.
100%.
I think within Friday the 13th, you got this cast of camp counselors, these teenagers. And I don't think any one of them have any charm to them. I don't think any of them, you can look at them, and I don't think any of them have any, none of them are that great to be like, oh, I'm invested in their performance.
Yeah.
But none of them have like a bit of fun. Like, there's no fun to these characters as well. I think I said this to you. It's just like, it just got to a certain point where all they would want to do was just have a shag.
Yeah.
And then if they didn't want to have a shag, they just didn't do anything else.
This film,
to be honest,
it's 90% walking through the woods.
just tell me anything about any of them.
One of them grew up to be the broadband face.
That's not relevant to the. That's not his character.
I think the problem with it is
You got the one bloke who's racist.
Yeah,
he really likes impersonating He really likes impersonating Native Americans.
Yeah.
He really likes doing that one specific joke.
I understand it came out like, what, 40
1980.
1980, yeah.
44
years ago. Not far from your age. So, for an example, Halloween and Friday the 13th have a similar runtime.
Yes.
But Halloween...
I think identical. I think it is. Like,
about hour and 35, yeah. Halloween feels like a half-hour watch. It goes by so quick. You watch Friday the 13th, I felt like 2 to 3 working days that film was passing by. But you don't like... It goes on for so long, and it drags for so long, but you don't learn anything about any of the characters. And I get you could argue that you don't need to learn anything. It's about the situation they're in.
But the thing is, though, the majority of the situation they're in is just kind of walking around.
Walking, talking, shagging, that's it.
But it's not... Do you know
what
I mean?
happens during that film? Hour and 35, nothing happens. It's so dull. I've never hated a film more than this in my life.
Nothing happens with... That's what I mean. If it was just kind of them dick... You know what? Extend the Monopoly scene. Fuck it. Do you know what I mean?
That's
just extend it.
Who's playing strip Monopoly? Like...
Monopoly's bad on the best of days, is what I'm saying.
Yo, take your shirt off and you owe me $50. And that is prostitution.
But there's fucking moments where it's like, all right, this is daft and stupid and silly.
Yeah.
Okay, I can have fun with them. But then the second half is just kind of like...
There's bits that are meant to be jump scares that aren't jump scares, and there's bits that aren't meant to be jump scares that are jump scares.
Yeah.
And
is it good? There's not good jump scares.
And the music...
No, this is what I would say. I didn't hate the music. Although I did say to you is like if you ordered the fucking Psycho score off Wish.
Have you ever seen Challenges with Zendaya? They just use the same track over and over. Just that, but with a violin that's not tuned.
The thing is, I liked Ralph as like a character.
Yeah.
No, but just no. But
I didn't hate him.
No, when I say I liked Ralph, not in the sense of like I love Ralph.
Oh, my boy Ralph, you know him.
But he's a good character in the sense like he's just a fucking weirdo. He's just kind of,
you gotta have the one weird one.
He's a fun little iconic horror character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that's what it is. Again, he's just like you going to Camp Blood?
You're doomed. They were more scared of a snake being on the floor than they were a grown man stood in the wardrobe.
And then he just rides off, and he's never seen again.
Bless him as well. The way that man rides that bike is so adorable.
He's like Wicked Witch of the West. Look at us. Yeah, no, like that happens. What was it? Her name was Annie.
Is that the opening girl?
Yeah, the opening girl. You know, I had a laugh with her because again, she's not good, but like I had a laugh with her in the sense of like she's the kind of line delivery that I can at least chuckle at.
It's the classic 80s acting.
Quit? I can't quit. And you know what? If she got involved with the whole thing, maybe I might have been interested. But
yeah, they do a lot of misleading in this film, but I don't think they mislead it.
Do they land though?
That's what I mean. I don't think they do it like well enough or with purpose, if that makes sense. I think so. Annie, you kind of played as if like it opens with Annie, and you expect her to kind of be like the
final girl,
a main character, whatever. She gets in the car, which is a separate thing. I'm gonna say she gets in the car, jumps out, gets chased through the woods. Throat gets slashed, and that's my other problem with these. Well, like I love old films, but they don't react to being murdered. If I got slit, like my throat got slit, I'd be screaming or flailing. I wouldn't just be stood there going, "Oh, ah."
I feel like the actual like you're talking about mislead and trying like you know a diversion of expectations. But I feel like they do that so much that it gets to a point where they kind of like
you lose
what
track.
do we do now?
Yeah.
Or like they do a thing was like, and now this character's dead. But then they realize, oh shit, we're like so early on in the film that we now need to plot out the rest of the film.
It feels like they forgot, like they got to the end of the film and went, oh shit, we haven't showed like fucking Bill die, or let's quickly film Bill at the top of the bunk bed and then we'll piece it in. Always get B-roll. No disrespect to Alice, I'm sure the actor who plays her is lovely.
Yeah.
My thing with it is, she's not the worst final girl I've ever seen. She's not the best. She's not very mid either, to be honest. She's basically Alice is a character in the film.
She is definitely a character
I
in the
wouldn't
film.
say there's anything special about her. At the beginning, we see her kind of having a bit of a flirt with the guy who runs the camp.
Oh yeah, Paul Jude Law.
Who disappears the entire...
He does just go, doesn't he?
One as well. He does look like a porn version of Jude Law.
That's why.
Insert photo. There's nothing in the film that you root for it. Like, you watch Scream and you've got Sydney and you're like, oh, I hope Sydney gets away from Ghostface.
Sydney's constantly getting battered down.
Yeah. Same with...
Sydney also has a tragic backstory in the sense of her mother. There's things like that.
You can kind of feel for her.
If we want to... I mean,
Halloween.
if we want to... I was going to say, if we want to compare, again, Laurie Strode isn't exactly... She doesn't have a compelling backstory, but, like, we see her and she's nice enough. She babysits.
She's trying to make a bit enough money. There's things about that.
We get enough of her to be like, all right, I can relate to her.
Yeah.
But like, there's nothing like
Alice has got nothing going on.
She is definitely another character in this film.
Definitely, yeah.
She is definitely a character. You know what? She fits in very well with the other characters in this film.
Yeah, all the ones
that all just kind of blend into each other. If I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, and the final fight. It wasn't a thing that you like. Usually, when you get to the end, like of a slasher, you'd go, "Oh,
it's this force of evil."
This.
Yeah.
The fight is so drawn out.
It does go on.
I don't know if it's
I guess
bad acting or bad script. Or both.
I just think it's weak, all right. Like
weak generally,
the direction,
the
overall. Again, and I don't even hate this film. I know you don't like it.
Can't stand it.
I don't. But if I'm looking at it from a critical point of view, this isn't like one that like you know what. It was a lot better watching it with someone else than watching it by myself. When I'm trying to like,
I would have turned it off.
When I'm just watching it, just kind of like, fuck me. Like, at least I'm with someone I can bullshit through it, and then we can turn back to it. Do you know what I mean?
And nothing happened.
The fact of being like, because we comment about the fact of like, Halloween isn't kill constantly.
No, but it's
like
such an easy watch.
we get the bit, but and we say there is a lot of build, and then the kills in the third act. What's the different? What makes that a lot more engaging, and what I think makes Friday the 13th not that engaging is one, the kills get spread out throughout, but also two, it's the fact that at least in Halloween we see this force. Even if it's in a distance, we see Michael Myers.
I fully agree.
We're aware of this evil presence.
You know who they're running from.
So
you
we're
know
like, shit. So when it does happen, it's like, oh, fuck, that's mad.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, we're like, I don't fucking know what's happening. Yeah. It's like just people die, and then we give it a while, and then nothing happens.
No, I fully agree.
And then, so like, we don't know what the threat even... I'm not saying like we need to know the threat, but it's like, the threat isn't as constant. So to me, from a horror point of view, it fails in the fear and the suspense and everything. Cause it's like, that's where it fails to me in the sense of like, what's the suspense? What are we building to? And then it becomes more of a thing, oh shit, it's his mum. But I feel like that's more of a twist in hindsight now, because obviously as modern viewers, if you've never seen the Friday the 13th films before, never, and you're like, the Jason franchise.
Yeah.
Let's watch the first one, and then you go. It's almost a twist now.
I think,
but imagine back then.
When
you know
Jason
nothing about it.
Thing, yeah.
Would that even be anything? It's like, it's the mum.
But I think is that
it's the mum.
It doesn't feed an audience expectation, because people who, like what you were saying there, people who haven't seen Friday the 13th, they're gonna think, oh, Jason Voorhees, hockey mask, he's gonna jump out and kill them. And I think, because I hadn't seen it in a while, I blended films together, so I was waiting for Jason to pop up, and then his mum rolls up.
Yeah. camp counselor's like, we're in a camp. And then they die.
go
And
there.
then all of a sudden an old woman rolls up and she
Yeah.
goes, I'm here to help you. Actually, no, I'm not, because I'm here to kill you.
Yeah.
And I'm Jason's mum, and Jason died because you fuckers were having
Yeah,
sex,
it's-
and now I'm going to kill you. And now let me tussle you down for a bit.
It's a lot of explaining motive.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of absolute nowhere.
It's like, who's this woman? Oh yeah, well this, and like you can't be fucked. You just want to see a fight. It's like
But then the fight happens, and then it's just so limp dick. It's just
shit. I think the thing with Friday the 13th that they were trying to, I might be fully wrong, that they might completely went the opposite direction, but I think what they were trying to do was they wanted to not show the killer, to leave it up to interpretation to make it scarier.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
instead
yeah.
of making it scarier, I think it just left people unsatisfied.
I mean, nothing satisfied me really too much. So I can't speak for the time or what
Yeah.
people thought about it. I mean, it did well enough to make a franchise. Is all I'm saying.
12 Friday the 13th films.
Do you want me to read the titles to you? now,
Why?
Kaz?
Yeah, read me the titles, Oscar. Go on, yeah.
So we got Friday the 13th.
I mean, bog standard, yeah.
We got Friday the 13th Part 2.
Oh,
Okay, you're fine.
oh,
yeah.
yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
We got Friday the 13th Part 3.
Okay, yeah, getting on the nose a bit, but fair play.
Then we got Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Oh, so they're done.
1 year later, we got Friday the 13th, a new beginning.
They're not fucking done.
And then after that, we got Friday the 13th, Jason Lives.
Oh, Jason didn't die.
And then we got Friday the 13th, The New Blood.
Oh,
And then we got Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan.
fuck.
and
It's not
then-
a Muppets movie.
then,
Why is it called that? I've never seen that one.
Have you never seen Takes Manhattan?
Jason Takes Man. Oh, yeah. Guys, I've got a horror film idea. It's called Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan.
And then after, again, I remember the names. Then we've got, then after this, we got Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
Jason Goes to the Hell the Final Friday.
And then after that, we got Jason X.
Jason X,
That's
10.
one where he goes to space.
Space.
Yeah. And then after that, we got Freddy vs. Jason.
I've seen that one.
And then we got the remake Friday the 13th from 2009.
I've got 2 words for you, Oscar. Cop out. It's a joke. Drop it. I said this in the last one, didn't I? Halloween, Scream, Friday the 13th. They could all be standalone films. It couldn't even make a standalone film.
If anything, no matter the quality of a slasher, no matter how shit it
Halloween
is,
kills.
we at least just want to see some
Exactly.
good ass kills.
You want to see some
could,
gory shit.
it could be the shittest plot going. It
Yeah.
could be so bad. Characters would be awful. Give me some cool kills. And
90% of the Purge films.
And then that's all I'm there for.
Yeah.
Buckle in. Kills in this, bollocks. If I'm being perfectly honest, these are so disappointed. I think probably the best kill is Pamela Voorhees getting beheaded.
It's so bad that it's
For
brilliant.
the fact of, like, we see a head go flying off, and then we see her go,
Have you ever seen
we see a headless cop do this.
out of the entire 1 hour 35 minutes that my life's just been wasted watching that last bit where Jason pulls Alice under the water?
It's
I thought
iconic
it was
for a
brilliant.
reason.
I thought it was brilliant.
It's like that is the
That's the
moment
only
from
bit
this
of the
film.
film that was good.
It's kind of the only thing that gets mentioned about this film.
Yeah, and they made him look cool.
They did make him.
They made him look really fucking cool.
Again, we were talking. I mean, we were briefly mentioning it now, but like we would say it about. It's like, fuck, that looks really nice. They shot that really nice, and the score, fuck, the score's really good at this moment.
This full film, it's shotty as fuck. The music's shit. The acting's not great. And then there's a 10-minute gap in the film towards the end where she's in the boat. It's the next morning.
Yeah.
The reflections, it's beautiful.
Ah.
The music's beautiful. It's such a nice...
And
me and you were sat at the front chair going, this is lovely. And then he gets pulled under the water.
Good horror moment.
It's
Really
fantastic.
good horror moment.
And then she wakes up in the hospital.
Oh, what's the worst kill?
The worst kill was...
Do they count if we don't see them?
I know the worst kill. The snake.
Oh, because they actually killed a snake.
Fuming. So there's the bit... Is it Alice's room?
I think so, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny in a way, and I can understand why it would have been funny at the time in terms of how films were.
The unnecessary need to just break the bed as well.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Bacon just cannonballs onto the fucking
Smashes his
bed.
knee off the corner. Yeah. It's funny because it's I think that's probably one of the most realistic parts of the film where this
Teenagers
girl,
dicking
yeah,
about,
she
yeah.
sees a snake in the room, screams, and then one person comes in to actually help, but then everyone else is like, "There's a snake," and runs in to see what's going on. And I think that obviously it's not a realistic film. The entire thing, that has been the most realistic bit. Just a group of teenagers fucking pissing about, having a laugh, and then they behead a snake. And I remember watching it, and you see the snake's head kind of move, and the body's still moving. And I was thinking, for the time period, fucking hell, that's some good like VFX that. And then I had a moment, I was like, is that real?
That's too good.
Yeah, no, I was like, It's too good to be true. Oscar, fact check it. What did you find out when you fact checked?
Oh yeah, they killed a real snake.
A real snake. Greenpeace, get on it. That would not hold up now.
No, God,
no. If you did that now, the ethics behind that.
Jesus,
done in.
Yeah, no, I will say that's probably the worst kill just from a
moral standpoint, you know.
From what I mean, this is a common complaint I have with these fucking films, the Friday the 13th films, is because if anyone knows me, I don't with a slasher film, I don't need it to be revolutionary.
Yeah, you just want something simple. And
I just need it. I need it to be fun.
Yeah.
And enjoyable. And I need some cool kills.
And was it that for you?
I did. I mean, I had fun with you watching it.
Yeah. Oh,
I
had fun with you.
I had fun. So but I think by myself, and I remembered it by myself. I was like, okay, we're gonna get some kills. I'm like, oh, is that it? Well, she just kind of goes, ah, and then like,
on the
then you just see
bathroom,
the,
yeah.
She just kind of turns. And then an
It's
axe to her
it's
face,
so quick
but you
as
don't
well.
see the axe go in.
No.
I understand budget, but you know what I mean. It just feels so like
But
I don't know.
They could have cut to they cut to a light. They could have had like a little blood splatter on the light.
Something.
Instead, it's like light,
Axe.
dead.
We don't even see the axe go in. We just
Yeah.
we.
There's also no sound effect to it either.
The Kevin Bacon kills. I said this at this time around. Like that wasn't as lame as I remember. I don't think it's great if I'm being honest, but it wasn't as lame as I
It's
remembered.
creative, but I think again, like
It's got a good blood spurt. Do you know what I mean? It's got a good.
gives me Nightmare on Elm Street vibes, and the fact that Johnny Depp getting swallowed by the bed.
Friday the 13th is a lot of just kind of like now this and just wait for a good while.
Yeah. Hold your breath for a bit.
And now we wait for something to come up that we're just kind of like, oh, was that it?
Yeah.
I guess I'll wait for someone else to happen.
So dull. It's such a dull movie. Like, I find no enjoyment in watching Friday the 13th. And I was like, oh, we'll watch it for the sake of this episode.
Again, I think
But the opinion just hasn't changed.
I think for me, personally, there is something you can get out of it in the sense of like,
It's an experience.
in all honesty, it's, if we talk about the ultimate, like, kind of turn your brain off horror flick.
Yeah,
you
you
don't
have to
need-
think hard about it.
It's this is the to the fact of like you could not watch most of it and then go back to it
Yeah.
and then go like,
You've
oh,
not
I can
lost
still
it.
follow that.
Yeah.
I can still,
You won't fall behind. It's fine.
You know what? It is almost like the perfect, like if you want to do a summerween party
Yeah, put it on in the background.
and yeah. Like if you want to get, I don't know, like during like the summer, get the Barbie out,
Yeah.
get like a telly on.
It's one of
have
those
this
films
on.
that you'd put on in the background while you're working. Or something like that.
Or like if you got mates round or
Yeah.
something, and you go like, what should we have? Let's have something on. I don't know, Friday the 13th. Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? Like it's
Something easy.
like, you don't need. Again, I'm not offended by this film. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even like one of the worst films I've seen. For the simple fact of like nothing angers me in this. Do you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just kind of there's a lot of just nothing, and on my own independent viewing, it's boring as fuck.
I
But
think when you've got someone there with you to joke
you
on
can kind of have
about
a laugh with it. Yeah,
Friday
exactly.
the 13th brings people together, is the
You know
takeaway
what?
from
You
that.
know what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a laugh.
That's what I mean.
But if you were watching it by yourself, like I would not have willingly watched that
No.
film if it wasn't in a group setting.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
would agree.
Halloween, Scream, I'd watch.
I
but
can watch those independently.
Yeah.
Whereas like with this, I can be a bit more like
so boring.
it's got a vibe to it.
It's lasted as well. Like people, it's been reused so much. That whole they're at a campfire.
I don't-
What's going to happen?
Yeah, I don't think I'm not sure if this was the first one, but it was definitely
No, I'm not sure. I think it might have been. You know.
like a summer camp. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
can't
no,
recall.
I can't think of anything. I mean, I might be wrong. So quote me in the comments.
Yeah, so but also I think in terms of having its place in horror history, it's valid.
Yeah.
But I also think other horror films have done this trope a lot
It
better.
also
Do you know what I
created
mean?
like
It's
a classic horror character, and I think that's one of the reasons it's so remembered.
but
I
this
think
film
if-
didn't. This film didn't
Yeah,
do that.
well, I was saying that earlier. I was like, there's a miscorrelation between it, and I think a lot of people also have the same viewpoint. I remembered is that you think Friday the 13th, you think Jason Voorhees. He's not even in this one. Is it the third one? He fully comes.
Third one, he gets the mask. He's in the second one.
Yeah,
though. He is
yeah.
in the second
But
one.
he's not like.
He's got a bag on his
he's
head.
not the like what you vision when you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Jason.
So the best thing that I can recommend this with everyone, if you haven't seen Friday the 13th, watch it with some mates. Genuinely, that's the. You know what? I think this because even the rest of the franchise, this franchise isn't lore dependent. I think that's another thing. If you don't want a lore like really heavy lore if you don't want a really heavy like
Growl.
in depth like storyline, backstory. You know what? This is the franchise for you if you don't want that.
Yeah. If you just want something to put on in the background and have a laugh with,
This is a safe option.
It's a good option. If you wanted to watch a horror film that's going to make you jump or spook you,
It's not that,
don't
man.
put it on.
There's zero scare, suspense,
Hereditary's
thrills.
on Prime. You can always get that.
I don't know. Yeah, it's fine.
I
I
think
think that's my overall
this
thing
has
with this
became
film.
more
It's
of a
fine.
rant than I think an actual, like with everything else. It's been like, oh, this is this and this and Friday. I don't hate it. I wouldn't.
This is what I mean.
I'm lying.
Exactly.
Actually, I do hate it, and I'm lying.
I don't. I don't hate this film.
I think there's worse films. It's not a film that I'd watch and go, like, it's not one of the ones where I go, I definitely wouldn't watch it again. Like, if I was in a group setting and someone put it on, I'd probably, like, glimpse over at it. But it's not a film that I'd go out of my way to watch.
No, yeah. It's fine. I guess the overall question, like, in conclusion, Curtis, I guess, should we basically say Friday the 13th, is it worth it? Is it worth watching?
And so many better films you can watch. No offense to people. If you love Friday the 13th, have at it. But would I recommend it? No. What about you?
I do think it's worth watching. I do think it's worth it in the sense of, like, as I said, it's got some merit to the fact of, like, it's kind of like the summer camp thing with it. You got some, it's a bit of mindless fun is the genuine thing, which some people might look at that and go like, wait, so does that mean it? So is it worth it then? I'm like, it depends what you want to get out of something. I don't think it's worth it in the sense of, like, it's not this. I feel like other things have done this a lot more impactful. Happy Friday the 13th. Hope you're having a good December. I don't know what would have come out before or after this at this point. So I don't know, just stay tuned for more stuff. Go to the Instagram account at Intermission Kills. That's where we post all the updates for what is coming out on the channel and all that jazz.
Massive thank you for watching this episode. It's been a pleasure. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm pretty sure that's what the YouTubers say.
That's what they tell you to do.
That's what they tell you to do. Yeah, keep up to date with all the socials. Like Oscar said, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming out for the rest of this year and moving forward into 2025.
Yeah.
I think we've all got a lot of big plans for Intermission Kills moving forward.
We'll see.
It's exciting.
Thank you for watching.
Don't stay spooky.
I wasn't
again,
going
please.
to. I was just going to leave it all like that. And the video's done now.
Happy Friday the 13th.